grand and very beautiful rising to you. It is chilly. The sun, though, is out and winter has begun. So it feels, you know, you're waking up and the fields are white and the sky is blue. The sun is shining through the glistening, dewy trees, and I'm out for a stroll in the forest and to collect our water. And it's just such an honor. But yeah, I'm checking in periodically because I'm now kind of in my winter. So I'm retracting. I'm consciously choosing to pull back, to come back into rest. All those connections and collaborations and potential for next year are being nurtured, those seeds under the ground in this moment, and will be for the next 3 months. Dropping and surrendering into the darkness. Yeah. How is that for you? I know many of us find it hard surrendering into that darkness. And you know what? We've also had huge shifts. Once in a lifetime shifts to witness, you know. Pluto, I mean, I'm sure you've all heard of Pluto shifting into Aquarius. How does that feel? We did have a transit back in between March and June, where Pluto went from Capricorn into Aquarius and then retrograde and back to Capricorn. So I urge you just to kind of pull back and observe the happenings of that time on many layers and levels of introspective kind of lenses as well. What was that time like for you? What was that time like as a collective? What was that time like politically? What was that time like in like worldly politics? And also in nature, you know? And we can zoom out and then we can zoom in into the very present moment. Yeah. And here we are now. Pluto has now shifted and fully landed in Aquarius in our lifetime. How extraordinary. Aquarius is the sign of rebellion. It is the humanitarian. It is that alien, outer detached perspective, the observer. It's also the scientist. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. He is the destroyer, Shiva archetype. He is here to break down and bring death and rebirth to current narratives, dismantling the current stories that hold us captive to how we go about our everyday lives. So Pluto has been sat in Capricorn for some time. Capricorn represents governments, corporations, rules. It's a lot of our politics, or what is going on this ground level, heavily structured in the masculine. And, well, I don't really know what to say at this point. Let's look around us as Pluto now shifts over to Aquarius. We are witnessing, well, wars around the world. We are witnessing that, you know, it's like a veil that's been across us for some time. It feels like it's just been peeled back. Pluto's like, look at the shadow. Look at what's happening. You know, these people that you have placed your trust in, these corporations, these governmental bodies, individuals, people of power, who we've given power to. Pluto is here to break that shit down, to reveal the truth, to really kind of shake up that reality as we need the shift. We are now being called for a deep, loving rebellion. A remembering of who the fuck we are, why we are here, who we serve. We're here as earth stewards. We're here to do our inner work, clearing the narratives and stored stories that have been bestowed upon us. reclaiming and remembering who we are. We come back to the land, back to the wisdom keepers. We read our folklore, we drink the wild waters, we eat the foods that we grow, we make love to our beloveds. We walk in creation, we share that love far and wide, and we do that with empathy, compassion, knowing that we are all a part of this narrative in all different layers and parts of that path, you know. Some of us have lived dark stories. Some of us have walked lighter than others. But we are all walking in this moment, in this time together. It is a time to reclaim your power and remember who you are. I was actually making this video and I had to turn it off because the National Trust, great spell on words. The National Trust are currently chainsawing and chopping down this ancient woodland that I live in, masquerading as Earth stewards, here to clear and protect the forest. We're at a point of truth. Let's cut the bullshit, shall we? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're quietly clearing ancient woodland, planting hazel, as well as other lucrative, fast-growing trees for great profit. You are destroying natural habitats, wild woodlands, and ancient pathways for your own grotesque profit, whilst masquerading as earth stewards, protecting nature, telling individuals, no, you can't forage here, no, stick to the path. Well, the veil has been pulled back to the bullshit. You know, the truth is out there. So I urge you to look in the mirror and, you know, all of us, for all of us, it's a time to look in the mirror, to sit in the reflection, to take these months of rest, to just retract, to pause and ask yourself, who am I? We had that beautiful question, didn't we, with the Aries full moon. Who am I? Who am I? What is my purpose? Who am I serving? Is it myself? Is it the greater collective? Well, this is the time of Aquarius. Aquarius, the humanitarian, as I say. It is about the collective rising. It is the rebellion. It is time that the powers shift back to the people. That we rise in love. We come together no matter what our story, where we've come from, what we wear, what we look like, how we speak, how we dress, how we move through this lifetime. None of it matters. None of it matters. We are all a part of this story. We have all lived lives where we've had to survive the current narrative that has been enforced upon us. But it is a time where that is shifting. We are coming back to our true nature, back to ourselves. And that is scary, right? For many of us that are just only stepping into our healing path, having everything crumble down around you, internally, externally, you know, as I just said, it's in layers, right? We can zoom out to our everyday lives, in our little homes, in the moment, to family, to community, to culture, to the collective, and so on and so on and so on, till we get to world politics and everything within that. There is a huge movement of people that are walking in love, calling you home. It is safe to let go. It is safe to step off the treadmill that you were never meant to be on. You know, what's come to me recently a lot is the system with food and water and work. How the fuck have we lost so much of our true nature? In the sense, right, that we have our homes, our mortgages, our rent, the agreement to live in the box, right? We go to work to buy food from the supermarket, to turn on the tap and pay for that water. You know, there was a time where the truth was what we do is live. What we do is how we go about our everyday lives. So our time was spent collecting water, growing food, making food, creating beautiful homes, not from boxes that have been stacked upon each other, but in nature, you know, creating communities. We are the creators. We are the reflection of God in every moment. We are creation in itself. Creation has already happened. It is a continual circle of happenings. Creation is creation, but creation is also creating. You know, it's one circle, one end, it continues. We are creation. We can only come back to our true creative nature, our true nature, when we have the time and the space. We get out of our heads and we come back to our beautiful bodies. We breathe in the air and we sit in truth and in stillness and listen. Until we have those moments, we don't hear the whispers of our true nature. So this narrative of this system has been very well designed, you know. We live in boxes stacked upon each other. We have no time because we're busy having to make that money to buy the food, the poison from the supermarket, and to turn on the tap that is also poison. I don't think that's a secret anymore. You know, the truth is out there. What is in our food? What is in the waters? And then we come home to the people we loved, exhausted, too exhausted to make love, too exhausted to play with our children, too exhausted to be in our creative true nature. And then we get up and we do it all again. Well, I'm calling bollocks on all of it. The truth is there to be seen for those who want to just take that step back and take that pause and sit within themselves and go, okay, this is scary, but I see it now. I'm going to give myself the space to cultivate, to create over winter and come out of the winter in action. What am I going to do with this information? I just feel it's really time that we come to that truth, you know. We break down those conveniences with the realization of who is it convenient for. Something I've questioned and put out there a lot in the recent months. Who is it convenient for? Keep everything simple as you turn on the tap. Who is this really convenient for? For me? Or for someone else? Because by turning on that tap that is filled with the chemicals, that is water that has come from recycled, chlorinated waste, human waste, that feeds into the cells of your body, that creates the epidemic of dementia and Alzheimer's and various other diseases that needn't be plaguing our people. Yes, it might be convenient in that immediate moment, but I assure you it is not convenient for you long term. The same as the food. You know, politics is now showing us that the foods we eat are laden and riddled with chemicals that feed the pharmaceutical industry. Who is that convenient for? I assure you it's not you. It's not you. So I urge brave souls to step forwards, to hold the space lovingly, with no judgment. There's no space for blame and shame and judgment in this loving rebellion. It is time to welcome people home, back to their true nature, questioning, you know, the narratives that have been bestowed upon us, the everyday small things we do to come back to our playful nature, back to our love making, back to our creation, back to our food growing, water collecting ways, and stand in that truth. Embody those Pluto vibes, guys. Come back to your true nature. Witness the shift of power back to the people, out of the hands of those who have led us into war, death, and the destruction of our natural world and ourselves. Value yourself, value your children in this moment. You know, I don't want to speak about that side of things too much. But it's a time to quietly and compassionately take a step back and observe what is being bestowed upon us and our children. It's time to protect our children, our rights, and our true nature. Rise in love and quietly lead this loving rebellion home, back to our hearts, back to truth, and into the spring. But first, rest. I wish this for you. I wish the quiet descent into your nature, into the darkness, and into deep, deep sensual rest, nourishing your bodies, stilling your minds. And yeah, I would say I'll see you on the other side, but I am about to drive south with my beloved to rest and adventure into the wilderness and into nature. So I will be sharing that story along the way, sharing the medicine, and just stepping away from action and coming into that peace and that childlike being. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and let it be so.